Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate the method that I use for making a half square triangle. Everything on this table runner is half square triangles. Now there's many other methods out there, but I found this particular one I'm going to show you works the best for me. When you're doing a half square triangle, and let's say you want it to finish at 5 inches square when it's all done in your project, you need to make sure that you add 1 inch to that size. So you would actually cut your fabric out 6 inches. The reason for that is in the middle here, you're going to have a seam going through the middle. That takes up a ½ inch. Then your outside seams also takes up another ½ inch. So that's why you add 1 inch. So now I'm going to show you how I used to make half square triangles, and I was never successful. This was the way I was shown. So you have 2 different colors of fabrics or 2 different prints, whatever you do, and you're going to cut them in half. So you place a ruler right on those corners, and then you cut it down the center. Then you would take each one and then pin it together and stitch a 1/4 inch wide seam. Then you would unfold it and press that seam towards the darkest fabric. I found that my half square triangles were stretching in here when I stitched across. But you can use fabric starch, spray starch, to put it on there to help stiffen it up. But it still didn't quite work out for me. So now I'm going to show you how I do it. Just a little tip, if you're wondering how do you get your fabrics to work together, what I do is I'll look at the fabric that is the busiest print on it, and I will look in there at the different colors. And then for my other part of the half square triangle, I try to use one of these other colors, and then it's just going to all work together. So once you have your squares cut out, you're going to take 1 stack. So this is the stack I'm going to take. And you put your ruler corner to corner and then draw a line. Then take both of your different prints and bring pretty sides together. It's called right sides. Place some pins right over that drawn line going through the center. Then on each side of the drawn line, you're going to go out 1/4 inch and stitch along here and here. Pressing is a very important part of sewing. So before you cut your fabric, press this seam along here with a hot iron. Place a ruler right on top of that drawn line and cut it in half. Then go to your ironing board and you're going to open this up, have the darkest fabric on top, open it up, and as you're pressing, you're gently pushing against this fabric to press it down. And the reason why you want the seam going towards the darkest fabric so that you don't have a shadowy line on the lighter fabric. Now, when you're finished, you're going to have these little tails at the 2 opposite corners on that seam. But before you do that, if your square looks kind of funny, it doesn't look right, always check it out, putting it on there to see if it comes out to whatever size you want them to be. So if you wanted a finished size of 5, then make sure at this point your square is 5.5. Now if it got just a little bit of fabric sticking out on each side, then what I would do is in the center of your square ruler is a diagonal line. Place that on your diagonal, your seam line, and then make sure you line up the other edges for that 5.5 inch size. If any fabric is sticking out, then cut it in half, cut that extra fabric off. If it's really distorted, then you've done something wrong. You either didn't cut your fabric out correctly, or your 1/4 inch wasn't quite even on each side. If everything looks good, then just go ahead and cut the little tails off at each end. If you're interested in doing that table runner I showed at the beginning of this tutorial, it's called my zigzag table runner. That link and other links will be listed below your YouTube screen in the description section. So I'm going to show you different things that you can do with a half square triangle. This is a really easy one to start with. It's called a bear paw. You have a solid square in here, and then half square triangles here. Then this is card trick. And this one is a little more complicated, but all of these are half square triangles. And then on this one, this is a strawberry, and up here at the top are half square triangles. And this strawberry happens to be part of my botanical quilt that you see up on the wall behind me. And then here is an 8-point star. So you can see, you can point these half square triangles in many different directions and come up with some really unique designs. Again, to get to these links, you want to scroll down to the description section. When you see the word more, click on it, and that section will expand open, and then you will see all of the links appearing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and make sure you go and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.